tell you something. I know that Mickey Mouse is squealing for his dear life with the way that John Boyega continues to stomp on her ass. Like I know she's tired.
Yes, ma'am, that's a catfish, and ain't no realness in that bitch. That catfish tragic. Online savage, real life average.
And of course, speaking of stomping, R. Kelly says, I heard that they were over there doing the 1-2 step on your forehead. R. Kelly, I heard that they were over there doing that 8-town stomp. They were doing the whole Kirk Franklin stomp on your head top. They were doing, let me tell you something. They were doing a stanky leg on your head. It's giving very much Justin Timberlake, what goes around comes back around. You were trying to get out early because of this, and I don't think that's gonna happen anytime soon for you, okay? Now, speaking of stomping, make sure you stomp your way over to patreon.com/AdrianExpression. Just put out the newest episode of my podcast up there yesterday, so make sure you check it out. Let me know what you think. Now, there were quite a few things that happened these past couple of days. Let's run through some quick things. Apparently this week marked the 14-year anniversary of B-Day, one of Beyonce's most sickening, most powerful, most innovative, I don't care what y'all say, most homosexual. It really revitalized, awakened the homosexual deep inside of me. I mean, what are you talking about? Freakum dress, get me goddamn body, sugar mama, resentment, Miss Mama's green light. Like, let's talk about it. Let's talk Deja goddamn Vu. Your faves in their wildest dreams could never do an album in a little bit over 2 weeks. It's just a legendary album like that with visuals as well. They're not seeing her. They're not seeing her. We give honor and thanks and praise to the queen of the Recording Industry Association of goddamn America. We give glory to Beyonce Giselle Knowles goddamn Carter, a musical genius, if you will, okay? And you're just gonna have to deal with that. You're gonna have to deal with that. And since we're talking about anniversaries and we're talking about birthdays and shit, Zendaya, Miss Mamas, I heard that you turned 24 this week. It must be tiring to be carrying entire TV shows on your back. It must be tiring to be so beautiful and powerful and so talented all the time. It must be such a burden to carry, huh, Zendaya? That's what happens with black excellence, black women too as well. Wow. Happy birthday, Miss Mamas. Continue to be one of the most inspiring people, one of the most skilled people in Hollywood. Like you always do. And since we're talking about talented black women, this is coming from The Undefeated on Twitter. They said Serena Williams has earned her 102nd U.S. Open match win, breaking a tie with Chris Evert. I don't know if that's how you pronounce his name, girl. Don't really too much care. This is about Serena. So breaking a tie with what's his face, some man, for the most match wins at the U.S. Open by a male or female since the Open era began in 1968. Wow, legendary status. She already had it, but she's just the gift that keeps on giving. She is the tennis racket that keeps on slapping. I advise you to stay out of the good sis way unless you want to be defeated. If you like defeat, if that's like a kink for you, if losing is something that you like to do, go ahead and stand in front of Serena Williams. Go ahead. If that's something that you enjoy, if never seeing the light of day, if being 6 feet under is something that really gets your rocks off, go ahead, stand in front of Serena Williams and and we're just gonna watch what happens, okay? Before I leave the realm of the music industry, let's go on over to a little bit of K-pop. I'm not as into K-pop as I need to be, but I do notice when certain things happen. CL, the queen of K-pop performance, let's be honest here. CL said that she has something. She posted this on Twitter. She said, I think 2 days ago, she said she has something for us coming. And then yesterday she posted up this like intro, kind of teaser video of what she's gonna be serving us. I'm ready for Miss Mamas to take us to places that we should have been a long time ago. If there is one thing about CL, she's going to get her ass up on that stage, okay? And she's going to give you a performance of her life every single time she touches the stage. And that's all I require. That's all I ask from you. That's all I ask from you is to just let me stand up out of my chair, my seat, and that could be your man's face or whatever it is, you know what I mean? Let me stand up off of whatever thing I'm sitting on and say, yes, God, yes, ma'am. And that's exactly what CL does. I don't understand half the shit she be saying in her songs, but guess what? I'm still gonna stand. Let's talk about Niecy Nash for a second, and then we'll get on John Boyega and how he roasted and toasted Ratatouille built ass Mickey Mouse. Now, Niecy Nash has invigorated black lesbians, black bisexual women, black pansexual women all across the goddamn world. Now, I did not even know that Niecy Nash was, you know what I mean? I had no idea that Miss Nash was, giving a little bit of, out of the blue, at least for me, from my perspective, just out of the blue, Miss Nash posted these pictures of her wedding. She's married to singer Jessica Betts, I think. It was just so beautiful. It was a beautiful thing to see, unexpected, but I just, the flavor that this has, it really does. Now, Miss Mamas has been knowing Jessica for a minute now, for a couple of years. I saw one video of her saying, hey, this is my homie, this is my homegirl. I was like, I know that trick. No, but she apparently was singing for Mrs. Nash's previous wedding. She was a singer at that wedding. Now, if you was flirting at that wedding, why you be flirting at that wedding? Why you bring that to somebody else's club? That's sad. Nah, but it's just, I want everyone to know that the gay agenda, the LGBT agenda is live and in full effect. There's nothing that you can do to stop it. We're out here, we're trampling territories, we're destroying armies of bigotry. We're out here accomplishing our agenda. And contrary to popular belief, the only agenda that we have is to live like normal fucking human beings, okay? Like, that's it. So now one of my husbands, so John Boyega, he took his ass onto GQ, I think UK's GQ, and they did a very long article about him and his past and his career. And of course, one of the focuses was on what happened in these Star Wars goddamn movies, right? So he just said exactly what he's been saying for the longest, but I guess now that it's in like official GQ magazine form, official media form, the girls are like, it's taking over the timeline. He, like I said, he said what we all been thinking. He said what we all noticed. And I'm just paraphrasing here, Adrian Expression paraphrasing. He was just like, y'all knew what to do with Miss Mama's main character. Y'all knew what to do with Miss Kylo, but y'all didn't know what to do with me, with my black ass. I mean, they pointed out things like this. They said he continued to notice a stylist he hired when he first started doing press. The stylist was cringing at certain clothes that he wanted to go for. The hairdresser, who had no experience of working with hair like his, but still had the guts to pretend like So he was speaking about his experience being a whole ass black individual in these industries, and how certain people who are not black, they would be treated with different levels of respect or different levels of consideration, while meanwhile his experience was not the same. And then so now you take it to the fans, or you start having these conversations about your experience, and the fans expect you to just kiss ass. They expect your black ass to just be grateful. Sit your ass down, boy, and be grateful for it's like, okay, he's like, he can acknowledge the fact that it changed his life and it changed the trajectory of his career, but he can't sit here and pretend like the way he was treated was up to par. Miss Mama, he pointed out how Kelly Marie Tran was treated. He pointed out how Oscar's ass was treated. He discussed those similarities and pointed out the obvious deeply rooted issues. One of the things he said, you get yourself involved in projects and you're not necessarily going to like everything. But what I would say to Disney is, do not bring out a black character, market them to be much more important in the franchise than they are, and then have them pushed to the side. It's not good. I'll say it straight up. And he said, of course, people are going to say that I'm making this shit up or I'm crazy. But, his treatment is the reason why he's saying the things that he's saying, and he's saying it in the way that he does, because he even said that going through these things kind of changes you. It changes you to be more militant. That's what he said. And at some point you have to fucking speak up. So I'm definitely here for it. And I hope that him speaking up and speaking out can give power and encouragement to other people who might be in the same predicaments and are scared to, or don't know how they'll go about speaking out. But it is moments like this when what you really think about what's going on actually shows, because these companies can throw up Black Lives Matter all they want. They can throw up like, oh my God, yes, Miss Mamas, we love social justice. We're gonna make social justice committees, and we're gonna hand out some pamphlets, and we're gonna really have a conversation. Diversity training. They can do all that bullshit they want. They can post all the supports and black fists that they want to on their social media. But the reality is easily uncovered when these people of color, these black people, these minorities in these companies actually speak about their experiences within those companies. So my thing is, if you want him to shut the fuck up, then you need to get your company together. you need to get y'all shit together, period. It's not just Disney, it's the industry as a whole. Y'all need to get y'all shit together. People will come up with all kinds of excuses. He's just mad because his character was not bigger, blah, blah, blah. Every minority on the planet knows when they were just pulled in or when they were just called to meet some diversity quotient and they don't actually give a fuck about it. You know what I mean? They don't give a fuck about it. Like I said, if you want him to shut the fuck up, do better. So once this hit the airwaves, of course, Disney, the mouse came out and they said, you know what, guess what? The Mandalorian is coming out October 30th. And we were just like, okay, you know, I'm gonna watch, because that's the only thing, like I said on Twitter, that's the only thing holding this Star Wars franchise together. But I know what y'all doing. I know exactly what y'all doing. Don't look over there. The Mandalorian. Ooh, don't you want the Mandalorian? Now, I was going to talk about the catastrophic failures that are both Joe Biden and Donald Trump, the foolishness, gibberish that's coming out of both of their mouths. But I decided to not put my brain through that amount of torture. Let's just end this video on Monica and Brandy. There were millions of people that tuned in, both on Apple Music and Instagram, to the Verzuz that they did. I thought it was hilarious. I thought the memes were funny. I thought the jokes were hilarious. I also thought that them even coming together was really cool. It was really cool. Like, especially because we were joking. We were joking. I'm not gonna lie. We were joking because Brandy was sitting up there. It seemed like Monica was like, okay, we just got back cool, Brandy. We just got back cool. All this joking and kicking that you do. All right, it's cute. But it was a good time. Like, they even showed after the Verzuz finished and how like Brandy and Monica were like holding hands and dancing around and having a good time and smiling in each other's faces and shit. So like, as long as both things are represented equally and how they actually are, then I don't see no problem with it. But it was just funny to watch Brandy be like, yeah, doing ad libs over Monica's shit. And Monica was just looking like, okay, like back and forth. But you know, they said that they had a conversation even before the live started. Monica put this up, which I thought was really cute. Communication and compassion bridged a gap that not many will understand. I celebrate you, Brandy. Your legacy, music, and catalog are undeniable. So it's just, obviously they came together. Obviously it was a lot of fun. The jokes were flying, like I said, but it was a cute moment. It was a cute moment. These Verzuz are getting, like I said, millions and millions of views. I do wonder who's gonna be the next one. Put your ideas in the comments. Put your ideas on who you think won this Verzuz. Them girls were actually talking about like, we should do an actor versus Verzuz, where they're acting their scenes out, or comedian versus roasting. It was just, I think they're trying to expand this shit, so we'll see how that goes. I think there are some good ideas, some cool ideas in there. But yeah, that's all I have to say. I'm done blabbing and ranting. Thank you all so much for watching. Make sure you check out patreon.com/AdrianExpression. Sign up for all the extra goodies. Just keep a lookout on my socials at the end of the week. Love y'all so much. Make sure you have a good goddamn evening.